Jeb, Katarkab, Jeb Rabao. Jeb, Jeb. No, say it the way you say it when you mean it. Is not her happy place. That's what it means. All right, so you see what I did there? And remember, the last point, turn in to get your heel on the attachment. Okay, so you have that little rotation at the end. Okay, now unlock and say it. Unlock and walk, right? Because, yeah, it helps. Just unlock and walk. Okay, now she's so much smaller than me, I literally take baby steps. And I really just kind of rock my heels in there and kind of mush, right? Get it? Mush, 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 mush. And now I come up here, lock both legs, and turn and slide in, even if I'm off the mat. Now, I know you'll miss a step if I don't say it every time. Okay, from here, I back off and put the ball of my feet in the middle of the back of the leg. So I actually have to back off and then push up with my toes. Now I'm not digging in with my toes, I'm just digging in with the ball of my foot right behind my toes. But I have to slide out a little bit, back off a little bit to get this position. I'm not tight behind the knee, I'm in the middle of the leg. Now bring it over, okay? See, it's gonna stay, I don't worry about that. Come up until basically my shins now are meeting her shin. Because it's counterproductive just to dig one shin in, okay? So I'm not gonna do that, even to Noi. Then reach over between my legs. This is good for you too. See, butterfly position, right? And hooking fingers, pull, and pull, and pull. Not slide. Pull, and pull. It's strong, okay? Walking.
You can do it either way.
Yeah.
Knock. Yeah, tap.
Did you do that pulling on this leg, other leg also?
Yes, I did.
Before the soft twist?
Yes.
Set up for sound on.
And now we're set up to just raise the knee up, come on our knees, we're ready for Sao Nong. Okay? All right, partner up, let's go.
Okay.
Are you having fun yet?
Yeah.
Come back to me, Kwan.
Come back to me, Kwan. Come back to me, Kwan. Steph, would you? Okay, who have I not worked on so far today? Steph?
It was yesterday.
You liar. You liar. She lies like a rug. So the last thing that we did, still working on the same leg that we started with in Fa Mung, is we're going to come up here into the Sao Nong, okay? Step one is just going to slide here, up, dig. Here, up, dig. So the fingers are digging into the back of the leg. If they are not digging into the back of the leg, you're not in the right place. Up as tight as you can. Now, if you can't get all the way to the top, open the leg up just a little bit, and then you can get all the way up to the top. Push in to lock the fingers. Arms are straight, okay? Now, one common mistake that I see people doing in Sao Nong is when they go to pull, for some reason they're looking up at the sky. I don't know what that's about. I'm not working on the sky, okay? I'm working on her. So I always keep a soft focus and keep, you know, I don't necessarily stare at my hands, but I always have a soft focus to keep all of the aspects of my client in my view, okay? Up, push, and now all we're going to do at this point is just pull and kind of stretch. Give it a wiggle, okay? Give it a wiggle, all right? That's just to sort of settle the client into Sao Nong. Okay, so the line is right here that we're working on, but it's not the line we're treating, okay? This is your focus. This is where your fingers go when you're in the hooking finger position. But when you pull, the tissue rotates, and now you're on the line, you're working. So it's different. This is where I'm placing my fingers, but where I'm bringing the energy to or attention to is that inside line number 1, or the outside line number 1, or the inside line number 1, or the outside line number 1. You see? Because as I pull straight back, the tissue slips. I'm not sliding. That's actually her leg rotating. It's actually the muscle rotating, okay? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk up with continuous pressure. What do I mean by continuous pressure? If this was a bar that I was hanging from, and I'm going to move this way on the bar, I would go do, 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 do. And there's no time where there wouldn't be weight on my hands. Okay? So I wouldn't lift this hand to go here and then lift this hand to go over here. Why? Well, maybe I could do it, but it's a waste of energy. I only want to release the hand I'm moving just enough to slide to the next place. Because if I was hanging from a bar or a cliff or a tree limb, right? If I lift and go like this, I might miss. Well, that's pretty inefficient. I just missed. Maybe I'll die now because I missed, okay? So what I do is I use the least effort, make the small motion, and literally kind of, once I get pressure on the hand, that pressure is always there. So the walking is not like this. The walking is like inchworm walking. Inchworm, 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 inchworm. And I'm not making it do that little motion, so I'm not exaggerating that to make it do that. In fact, I'm not concerned with that at all. All I'm trying to do is keep pressure on this line, and then if I do that and I'm in the right position and my elbows are down, so I'm not like this, I'm like this, okay? Then when I lean back, if I have pressure on the right hand, you see how it goes? Okay, I didn't do that. The position does that. Okay, anyway, so there we go. Hooking fingers. Also, when I say, can I pull your pants down, Steph? Okay. All right. If I use kind of a working pressure, if you can't see, no, it's good enough. If you can't see, you have to move closer. All right, see, I'm on it. See how I shifted back and I'm on it. Okay, and then I work, not taking too big of steps, but not taking too small, and I'm just going to stay on the skin for now. Okay, look.
Yeah. Left the trail. Did.
Left the trail. And if you see little half moons from the fingernails, that's perfect pressure. Okay? If you can't see the trail after you work, at least for a little while, it's not enough pressure. Okay? Now, all right, thank you. Okay, so step 1, that's pretty simple. Step 2, now I'm going to move up. And I might just move her foot just a little bit so it's not right in my crotch. Okay? But I don't want it too far, because if this heel goes up too far at this point, when I pull, it creates this leverage. And that's not what I'm doing, right? I actually want, when I pull, see how it stays stable. Okay, right now, I need that stability. And I'm controlling, drop your leg, don't help, let it fall. See, if you relax your legs and the client's leg does not fall, they are squeezing their groin. They are holding their leg up, and that's called counter tension, right? And even antagonistic tension, all right? So I don't want that. And how to tell if I'm in the right place is like this. See, and by right place, I mean that I'm the one controlling the tension, right? You see it? Okay? So I will do this just to check in. But see, but because I'm practiced, okay, I'll do it like this. You see? While I'm getting it, I don't like to waste steps, right? So if I can do this little check while I'm getting into position. You see, here's position number 2. All right, the kneecap goes right on the chest. Now the elbows are out as wide as they can go, and I'm up as high as I can be, up on the top of this leg. And what I'm going to do is, this is called vice, right? Like a vice, like a tool vice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push straight in with my elbows, and then I'm going to push straight in, and then straight in, and then straight in. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's here. That's the motion, but slow. I'm not trying to hit. It's not ballistic, but the motion is here. Solid. See how that's solid, how they come together, all right? That's position 2. Position 3. Vice thumb. Okay? Now, not like this. Like this. Okay? So now, come up as high as you can on the thigh. Get in there. Chest is on the knee to control, right? Elbows are up. Now, instead of pushing in with the elbows, I hinge on my fingers and level down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. It's not a big motion, it's a subtle motion, but it is this. Okay? And that's called vice thumb, or vice-like thumb. Okay? What I just did was, on the hooking fingers, line number 1. On the palm, push in the vice palm, right? Line 2, line 2. See, it's inside. Line 1 is inside line, outside line, 1. When I use the heel of my hand, it's inside and outside line 2. When I use my thumb, it's inside line number 3, outside line number 3. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm going to get up in here. The outside hand is the low hand, because the outside thumb, I can get up here just on the edge of the sit bone. Okay, which means the inside thumb is obviously higher, right? So I'm not pushing into her groin, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up the center of the back of the leg, up. And no, I don't try to look at it. What's the point? You see? Thumb press the line. Okay. Yeehaw, back where we were. Okay, top part, upper leg, just for a quick review. Okay, line 1, line 2s, line 3s, and let's call this line 4. Okay? 1 was hooking fingers, walk up and down, up, down, and even though technically it's not up, right? Because up in this, it's relative to the position. I'm actually going down the leg, but it feels like I'm going up. Okay, all right. So, da, da. 2, lock the fingers tight, lean over, get your chest on the knee, get your chest right on it. Don't hold yourself off, okay? Because then look at this exaggeration, okay? This is called the bird's wing, all right? This is exaggeration. Lay it on top, and then when you push straight in, you're on line 2. See, don't go like this. Go like this. Straight together, right? Okay, so here we go. And then we're going to work. It should feel on the receiving side. It actually should feel strong, okay? And then turn out. Exaggerate. Really exaggerate. Get those wings up, okay? And now, when I come down as far as I can, keep your thumb strong, and then lever into the thumb. And it's about the length of your thumb from point to point. Up, down, up, okay? Now, posterior line, we'll call it line number 4. The outside hand goes dead center in the back of the leg, and if you're in the right place, you're right above the top of the sit bone. All right. Now, of course, the inside hand is going to be about that far higher because I don't want to put my hand in her crotch, right? Okay. And now we just inchworm up with thumb pressure up the back of the leg. Up, you can't see. Down, but you can try.
Tried. She did.
And up, right? And then right there, look. Boom. Okay? So I don't have to, from here, I don't go. No, that's not. Okay. When I get to the top on line 3, up, down, up, right? Watch. And then keep the tension on. Now, if when you pull she scoots, that means the leg is bent too far. Open it up a little bit, back up, trap it, and now come back. See, I can pull pretty darn hard and she's not going anywhere. Now walk it down. This should feel sensitive. It's a sensitive line. And I'm digging in with my sharp little fingernails, which you could probably tell. Sorry, I'm not supposed to get so happy. All right. All of a sudden, Stephanie looked like she was in pain, and he looked like he was happy, all at the same time. All right, so up, down, up, right? Now, just like we did up here, again, the fingers go together, and we're going to push in with the palms again, but there's a little difference. So I make my hands, I come up as high as I can, okay? And then I'm going to get in here again. You know, now maybe I can't get my chest there, so I'm going to put my chin, okay? So I'm going to use my chin, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push in, and then I'm going to rotate down just a little bit. Go to the next point. I'm going to push in and rotate down a little bit. And I'm going to push in, and then I'm going to rotate down a little bit, okay? And it's almost like, one, I'm wringing the calf muscles like a sponge. 2, it's almost like I'm trying to pull them off the leg and just separate them off the leg. Now, they're not going to come off. Don't worry about that. What if they come off? Yeah, be worried. Yeah, be afraid. Be very afraid. They're not going to come off, okay? But it is a strong technique. So it is literally compressing. I mean, it is, and almost, again, if you ever see anybody anywhere doing something like this, they learned it from us. Okay, because almost no other system in the world does these kinds of techniques on these parts of the body, right? So if you see it, you know, you know where it came from. I'm not just saying me. Like I said, this is Lanna method, right? So anyway, so we get in there. Now, who is this good for? Who is this good for?
Everybody.
Well, everybody. Anybody with neuralgia, paresthesia, diabetic edema, cankles, neuropathy, athletes, sports athletes, anybody who's got a tendon injury, recovering from a tendon injury, because when you damage, for example, when you damage the Achilles tendon or the calcaneal attachment, okay, the soleus muscle flexes, okay, and actually goes into a little bit of spasm. Part of the inhibition to moving your foot with that type of injury is because the muscle's in spasm. And it may not necessarily be the gastroc or the outer head that's in spasm, but I'm talking about the soleus under the gastroc goes, ding it, into and it happens that quick. So it's not like you have any choice in it. The second you get the pain, there is a spasm. All right, it's a splinting mechanism. All right, so it's instinctive. That's why it's faster than you can control, right? However, it doesn't necessarily go away. Even when the injury itself is healed, you can still have the residual spasm, which is now called sympathetic atonia because it's chronic in the muscle, right? So you got to get in there and isolate the soleus, not the calf, just stretching, like people will do ankle pronation, supination, stretch the gastroc to try and take it up. No, it's not going to work. You got to bypass the gastroc, go direct to the soleus, and this does that. This does that. Okay? Any questions?
Is that good for shin splints?
Yes, it's all good. Anything that improves the circulation here is good for shin splints. Okay? And also, it feels crazy good, especially if you've had shin splints. Just
How does it feel for people with neuropathy? They usually have a
well,
lot of pain.
maybe they'll have some feeling.
Just tell them to stop crying.
Yes. No emotion.
They can feel.
See,
Neuropathy.
Terry, now I feel like you're starting to catch on. Now I feel like he's starting to catch on. So you just tell him to stop crying? Well, no. Okay, next, one other person. I only tell them to stop crying if it bothers me.
I did my mom, and she was crying. Oh, Jessica,
Yeah,
stop.
yeah. I only tell them to stop crying if I'm feeling bothered by it. Like, could you just like cry a little less? It's kind of distracting. It's a little bit irritating, you know, all this whiny cry stuff that you're doing. Okay. However, if it doesn't bother you, there's no reason to tell them to stop crying. Cry. Well, that's fine. Well, you know, nobody can hear you anyway. It's like a scene out of Saw. You know, go ahead, scream. Nobody can hear you anyway. In space, nobody can hear you scream. Okay. All right, so what was the last thing? How did I get, I was here, right? Was the double lock. I just roll out, right? Bump up and just carry that leg up and just put the foot where I want it. Okay? Come up and trap. And then there's this little consideration, who's holding the leg up, right? Make sure I'm the one holding the leg up. And then here, actually I'm going to do stretch first. Stretch. Remember how I got there. Boop, boop, boop. Okay? Fingertips touching. Push into the first joint. Straight arms. Lean back. Don't look up, for God's sake. Just pull. No, Then we go to the upper leg. I saw that. We go to the upper leg, up and down. See, it's the inchworm thing again. The only thing that's different is I'm really got to keep that hand tight. Don't be sloppy. Sloppy, correct. Sloppy, correct. Think fish hook. And also visualize your nails digging in. If you can see your fingernails digging in, whether they have pants on or not, but if you can see your fingernails digging in, you're actually doing it correctly, right? If you're trying to keep it soft like this, okay, this is not strong. It's also very broad, non-specific, more than right now, see, I'm playing that guitar, bling, bling, that harp, bling, 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 bling. Right? So I want to be right on it. Okay, so up, down, up, right? Then I moved up a little bit to get my chest on the leg, right? So I can lock and wing those elbows out, come up high, and then push in straight. Then turn out and stretch those fingers. That's good for you too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then straddle, right? Now the most outside and most inside at the same time. Vice thumb. Gets dicey by the knee. Sensitive, I mean. Okay?
Up, down, up.
Right. And then from here down, just above the sit bone, here, just above the groin. Okay? Now that means the outside hand is going to take an extra step. It's got to catch up to the inside hand. So I'm going to go press, press. Oh, now my thumbs are together. Now I alternate. So the outside hand, just because of the nature of the angle, right, has a couple of extra steps. And you get in there. See, feel that? Right there. See how I'm on the front of the sit bone there? Okay? And here's the beauty part. The reason I can actually touch that point on the front of the sit bone is because we're in this position. And all of this, look at that, loosey-goosey. So there's nothing keeping me from getting in there. You see, if I even had this leg straightened and she's face down, there's tension on this structure. Tension on structure. The only other way I can put pressure directly on that point is in the side lying position. Because you can have this knee up and this loose in the side lying position, right? But in the prone or supine, you can't do it. All right, here we go. So after I do that, then it's in here, up, bump, and pull again. Okay, but this time I'm going to walk it down. Far as I can with my legs. Don't worry about trying to go further. It's just till you run into your legs. It's plenty far enough. And get pressure. If I'm not rocking, there's no pressure. If I'm rocking, there's pressure, right? Okay, down, up, down, I did on that one. Now, cross the fingers, come in, capture the knee again, push straight in, and a little rotation. And straight in, and a little rotation. And straight in, and a little rotation. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to pull that calf right off of there. Okay? Got it? Okay, finish with one last pull.
So it's just up, it's down, up.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Pull. Up, and we're out. Thank you very much. Okay, partner up.
Always find joy in the smallest of things. That is what we found in you. Oh, 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 you are joy. Never give up when the going gets rough. Hope is everything you need. Oh, 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 you are hope. Oh, 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 you are hope. And don't forget you're not alone. The Holy Spirit wants to guide you on. The journey, child, will never end once your heart's been marked by a love for